That dude's got a very fat ass, if you can see there. A little too much form on that buttocks there. Here's one that I figured out from Japan Book Hunter. I thought it looked so cool. He had it listed on his website as Flesh Bomb Era. I actually went to his website and tried to get a copy of it, but it was sold out, so I had to get it from another seller. And I was like, is it even gonna show up? And it did. And the moment I saw just pictures from the inside of this book, I was blown away. I am a huge fan of anatomy and figure drawing, and this book has some of the most insane anatomy I've ever seen. And also doing great things like foreshortening and just, I mean, beautiful stuff like that. And I wanted to take a look at it with you guys because why not? Why not take a look at something different than what you kind of normally see? I know nothing about this artist. I know nothing about this book. I don't even know what the story is. I took a look at it once. I will say, man, if you ever get a book shipped to you from Japan, they got different air over there because, man, their stuff smells fucking good. It smells like a basement, you know, like a basement smell. I love the smell of every time I get a book from Japan. And this is what I had to get imported, and I'm so happy that I did. And let's take a look at it, because why not? I'm going to skip this little intro here, because there's some nudity, and we don't want nudity right in the beginning of the video if possible. But I mean, we open up with this beautiful just splash title page. I mean, just great stuff here. Bizarre, weird stuff. I love the textures going on here, and the hatching and the cross contours, and it's just beautiful stuff. Very three-dimensional feeling, which is what you're supposed to do when you make comics. You're supposed to make your stuff look three-dimensional on a two-dimensional plane, and that's what we're doing anytime we make comics. And then we get this beautiful scene opening up here with this insane Burn Hogarth striations, and you can see the fibers of the muscles going through the skin. It's like they don't even have skin. And the anatomy looks great. You got those beautiful triceps, that beautiful, just solid elbow there going into those forearm muscles. Oh, man, there's something about when anatomy is drawn beautifully that and everything looks great. The thumbs on the right side with the arm twisting, and you have that forearm muscle, and those deltoids look great, and you have the veins and the striations. And then we have some nudity here, which is also great as well. You cannot, it's funny because when I read Japanese manga, well, not read, when I look at Japanese manga, man, there's a lot of nudity, a lot of sexual repression, I guess, over there. Buff dudes and naked ladies, so why not? And then I'm assuming that we are looking at a woman who looks as though she is squirting as she's on top of a motorcycle, and you probably would have missed that had you not looked closely like I did. So that's very nice. Or pissing, it's very possible too. She's peeing, not sure what she's doing. And beautiful motorcycle drawings and speed lines, and just great action. Everything looks natural. But you also have this very underground outlaw feel to it, which is pretty interesting. Great guns and stuff like that. It's so funny because it's like I'm not a pervert. I really am not. That's what a pervert would say, but I really am not a pervert. But I feel like a lot of the comics I look at are quite perverted, and it's not intentional. It's just like, I guess that sex and cool anatomy goes together. So there you go. Gotta learn how to draw everything, not just great people, but also great weapons and, you know, plants and trees and foreshortened bottles being thrown at you, kind of giving that three-dimensional feel. Man, just beautiful stuff. I love this crouched over character, ready to box. And he's using what I believe is brush, for sure. The lines seem pretty thick, and he's going over the entire form. So he's definitely using a brush for sure. but I'm sure there's pen in there and all kinds of different tools being used trying to put that over. Imagine he probably looked at some Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier magazines to get some of this stuff for reference. But man, I love how those muscles, like those forms, like if you look at that leg muscle, look how thick and meaty that fucking, was it quadricep, I think it is, muscle on the leg there going into that knee. It's just so chunky, and you have that beautiful line work going on there to kind of show that form, man. And then you got these lights going off with that beautiful hatching in the back, kind of like a Bernie Wrightson feel, but it's kind of chaotic as well. Just a beautiful comic book or manga, I guess, that I wish everybody knew about, but it's kind of cool when people don't know about the manga that you like or the comics that you like. Beautiful speed lines there. I just adore it. There's some, I don't know if those zips going on back there. Man, it's just, and the action is great. It's not like the most perfect figure drawings ever. There's a lot of proportion that's wrong. Like the head's too big for the body. Some of it feels stiff sometimes. I feel like sometimes there is a priority to draw beautiful anatomy over drawing kind of like a gestural feel, but then you get beautiful stuff like that. And I love those lines to show the striations and that solid barrel form going on there. It just marvelous stuff, really great stuff. I do believe it's possible to fall in love with artwork, and I look at this stuff and it's just like this, because when you first start drawing, I probably said this before in the past, when you first start drawing, you're trying to find artists who you can kind of click with and who you want your style to be, and you go after like the mainstream people. You know, you go after your John Burns, and there's nothing wrong with that. But being able to see other things, you know, it's kind of like Frank Miller, when he was drawing, he was looking at the Jack Kirby's and the Joe Kuberts, and then he looked at Lone Wolf and Cub, and, you know, got inspiration from there, and then he looked at Mobius and got inspiration from there. So it's kind of cool, you know, once you start drawing and once you start really getting into it, you kind of figure out about all these different artists. That dude's got a very fat ass, if you can see there. A little too much form on that buttocks there, but still looks great. God, he really drew fat ass women, or fat ass men. So there you go. We're showing tight butts on dudes. So it's not just on the ladies. I just love that. I mean, I love that you can clearly see the form of the bone there. Hopefully you can see it. Beautiful form of that bone going in there, and then you have the muscles on the side there. Just kind of showing that ulna and radius. And then we have a naked man who you can see his the bone of his spine going into his. You can see the bones of his pelvis. Excuse me, which is a very interesting choice there. Another great splash page there. And man, I love looking at like wrestling comics and boxing comics. It's and especially when you get to, like, those weird underground ones, not the typical ones that you see kind of in the mainstream. I know there's like a big Japanese there's a big manga about boxing, I forget the name of it, which by the way has not been printed in the States. I don't know why. Man, I love that movement of that wrist going down like that. Like little things like that, just, man, and just how he's kind of like positioned, and you see like this very foreshort. It's just, man, it just looks so natural and so good. And that tightness of that bicep there, like it's really tight, it's really flexing, and you just get that huge bicep there. And then you kind of get like squiggly lines there, where he's kind of being a little bit more experimental. I mean, come on, look at that. Love that hatching and those lines. I would be terrified to do something like that. It definitely feels like that. Oh, look at that. Fibers there. Bones and stuff cracking and stuff like that. But, you know, I definitely sort of feel like there's like an experimental and a sketchy feel to some of his work. So, and then, man, just great stuff. Great stuff. Hopefully this video doesn't get blocked for sexual stuff. I might have to do some editing and remove some stuff from earlier. I don't know why I'm talking about that now as I'm going through it. Man, so cool. So freaking amazing. Wow. I mean, I love how he has like the sweat coming out, and the spit or sweat technically because they're sweating, and then he's hitting him forcefully in the face, and that sweat's coming off of his skin. Man. And then you get stuff like this, like a very interesting like figurative like fine art thing going on there. It's some really beautiful stuff. Man, that foreshortened leg looks very bad. That does not look good. Proportion's a little bit off there, but whatever, it is what it is. It's a very difficult angle to draw a person. Those hands look great though. Beautiful hands, great hands. I love the drawing of the hands and kind of the wrinkles on the face, and then the drapery is beautiful, and great motorcycles and all kinds of great hair. Man, got some sex going on, just in case you're bored of the of what you're reading and you need to, you know, whatever. And yeah, great anatomy. I mean, even the feet are great, and the toes. Just wow. It's so nice seeing artists that you're not familiar with and being inspired. I've looked at this. Honestly, I haven't looked at this as much as I wanted to. But because manga is difficult for me because I hate the way it's bound and you have to like kind of hold it and you're like, oh, what am I learning? I do love the size of manga, but sometimes it's difficult to kind of, you know, be able to use it as reference. But I definitely am going to take a look at this more. I do think there's another story in here as well, if I can remember. I think there's like a baseball story, which is pretty interesting. I believe. I could be wrong. More crazy hatching going on. Got a nice thing in the middle. Nice insert. I love when I get the inserts. Man, great stuff. I mean, look at those panels. Just absolute beautiful panels. I'm going to do a deeper dive in some of the stuff later on, but I just kind of want to take a look at this and show this stuff. Love those back muscles there. Not anatomically correct, but it's all there. It's all there what you need. Beautiful stuff. And then we get some naked ladies, and yeah, we get a wrestling story here, which is pretty cool. Like I said, I love wrestling comics. And then we get an interesting baseball comic. It's so funny how like sports comics are so loved. And I love the way he does his figure drawing. Just, man, look how fucking great that looks. And he's not afraid to use the pen. But it's funny how like sports comics do so well in Japan. Man, great stuff. Beautiful work. And I love that, like the baseball coming off the bat and the bat breaking. Man, oh man, beautiful stuff. And I love it. They always tell like these stories, and then there's like this big drama going on, like this guy got killed or some shit, and this baseball player goes on like he becomes a detective or something. Very cool drawing here. Love that drawing there. But yeah, I just wanted to show this off to you guys because it's such interesting stuff. And man, look at that. Whew. Wow. Bernie Wrightson, eat your fucking heart out, dude. Wow. Wow. That's gonna be that might be the cover. I don't know, to the video. I'm not sure. Man, just beautiful stuff. And then we have a dude, I'm assuming, having sex with a woman, and then he kills himself. You know, hey man, whatever gets you going, I suppose. Yeah, Manga. Japanese manga. Very interesting. Can we even call it Japanese manga? Because manga is just Japanese for comic, I'm assuming. So, yeah, just cool stuff. I love showing off the stuff. It's very cool. Yeah, it's great. I would say pick up a copy, but I literally had to get lucky and find this somewhere. I'm assuming this was not very popular or successful in Japan, but yeah, I just wanted to go through this. One of these days, maybe I'll do like a deep dive into this stuff. I know people have asked me in the past to kind of take deep dive into some of this stuff. Maybe I'll do it like over multiple videos or something. But yeah, I love this. This is like right up my alley. I love this very weird, just weird proportions and cool anatomy, and anatomy kind of takes over for gesture. And yeah, so anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm happy that I could share this with you, and I will see you in the next video.